Hello and welcome to GTO Coach and Go. I'm Jim Delleman with Group Travel Odyssey. I want to thank you for joining us for another episode. If you have not been with us before, if you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking that little button below. Also, if you ring the bell, you'll be notified anytime we have new content on our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn at Group Travel Odyssey and make sure to like and follow our Facebook page as well. We've got a lot of great social media stuff going on. You can find all the previous episodes of Coach and Go, plus some other fun videos and stuff as well on our YouTube channel. Well, today we are going to be going through a topic that is near and dear to us, and we talk with all of our members about this quite a bit, and that is the activities and the tasks that can be created within the GTO system. We have some upgrades to that, and I'm going to be bringing on my esteemed colleague, our director of Group Travel Odyssey, Corey Vries. Hey, Corey, how you doing?
Howdy, how are you?
Doing well, doing very well. So today we're going to be talking about upgrades to activities and task creation. And then, like I said, I know that Angelica and I talk a lot about this during demos and stuff as well. These activities and tasks are put in there to kind of help our member companies make their lives a little more efficient and to schedule things for happening to happen at specific times. But I'm not going to take all of your thunder from you, so I figure I'll just go ahead and let you start talking about it as well.
Sounds good. Sounds good. That's exactly right. One of the benefits of GTO is its ability to create tasks and activities for you to do in the future, you to do now, to log what it is you've done, to always keep track of something that you're doing. And we'll talk a little bit about how we use those to talk about why the upgrades and things like that. So the first thing I want everybody to know is if you're not using the task or the activities section, then you're missing out on a great feature. Where you can schedule things in the future. You can create calendars of those things. So every day you can come in and see what it is you need to do for that day. Plus, if you let us know, the system can automate certain tasks and activities to be created and to notify you when one has come due. Meaning you don't miss anything. You don't again, we have like Post-it notes everywhere. One falls behind the desk because you bought the cheap kind. They don't have the sticky right, and so it got a little breezy in your office, and bam, it falls to the ground. You see it 2 years later, and you realize you've missed something. So this is the electronic way to do that. Lots of you use them, and I think it's very smart. You can use them in the sales CRM to keep track of who you contacted. You can keep track of everything you've done on a trip. Any task that you need to do in booking, in group accounting, they are pretty much spread out throughout the entire system. In sales and trip, they're used the most. And because of that, we have made some updates to make things move a little faster, streamline some processes for you. First, what's the difference between an activity and a task? It's always a great question, always what I'm asked, and the answer is nothing. Activity and tasks are the same things. Tasks are used for Trip Manager. Why, you ask? Because when we created it, we called them tasks. And then activities were in sales. But then we built out the system even further, and we just went with activities for most other things. But tasks, it was kind of built so that you knew what to do in the booking process. And so it can be kind of tedious because when you add an activity by hand, there's a lot of information it asks you, right? So we're gonna take a look as usual in the at the system, and we'll see here. I should be showing you a trip.
Yes.
Here. Excellent. And in that trip, there's activities. It's down by proposals, activities here. And I believe this send proposal to client might have actually been generated by our system. I'm not really sure when this trip was put maybe into, presentation. Yeah, probably. Just by, use it. Basically, it might have used a status as a trigger to say you need to send this proposal to the client. And it's an activity that would have showed up on a calendar somewhere, wherever you'd like that. And I hope, Jim, that you did this on the 29th of September in 2023. There's some notes. But when you add an activity, it can be very tedious because it wants a ton of information. So you'll see all this information here. It wants names and types and dates. Remember that the star means they're required, but the other stuff you don't necessarily have to do. This was assigned. This is assigned to me because it will assign it to whomever is creating it. In sales, we have the ability to change the assign to someone else in your company. But for the moment, that's another topic. That's not part of our streamlining process. But you have to fill out all this information, and you'll notice that it comes, since we were on a trip, it actually connects it to the trip, and you have the ability to connect it to a school and to a contact, so that you can put this activity on all three. So if you will recall, there was activities here set on this trip. There's activities on the account. There's activities on the contact. So I've pulled up all three here. Again, the trip, the account, and the contact. But the system can't just know automatically which one you're wanting to attach it to, or if you want it attached to 2 or 3 of them. So when you're adding a activity, it will ask you, do you like, who else do you want this attached to? And they will show up here. And the problem is, so if we add an activity here under a contact, it's going to ask you, do you want it to be on a trip? Which trip do you want it to be under? And you would search for that, or the school and the organization. So you have that ability to put them all 3 places. So if you ever go to one of them, you'll see it. But that's a lot of information. Let's see, all you did was you just sent them an email. Like, you just sent them an email. You want to log that you sent them an email. You fill this out. It took you longer than it did to write the email itself. Just checking in. You just want to, So what we did was we created under accounts and activities a way to just add a quick phone call. So here I am on Jim's contact. I contacted Jim. I called him, right? So basically, I click the quick phone call ad. I have to fill out one field, and that one field is the notes. And all I'm going to say is, called Jim, told him he better buy this trip. Hit save. Close your screen. And you're saying to yourself, well, nothing really happened. Like, I don't have anything, right? All you really need to do is you need to refresh your screen, and it's going to be there for you. You don't actually have to refresh the screen. It's going to be there. But there it is. Call Jim, told him he better buy this trip. Phone call record, the phone call, today's date, and you already filled out, and it's been completed. You don't need to worry about it anymore. It's not going to show up on a calendar of things you need to do. You could do the same thing with a quick add email, and the only difference is you still just type in what it is you want to say on there, right? And you save it, close it. It's already there, but you'll just have to refresh to see that it's there, but you don't have to stick around for that. It's going to be there. There's the email record today assigned to me. You can do that then on a contact or an account, but you'll notice that it did not, an account and a contact did not, they didn't show up on either one of their stuff. So it only works when you're just checking a record for either one of them, right? Especially for contacts, but we added it to accounts as well, just in case you want to make sure that, like, if your business model is that you put everything on the account, no problems. What you would do here is you would say then, I made a quick call to Jim, and just list who you called. Save it, close it, refresh it if you need to look at it. Right, and you'll have that. You just made a quick call to Jim. So that when you go through, and you can see that I've tested this quite thoroughly, making sure that it works in all realms here. But but you could just add a quick one. And that's only if you want to add it to an account and a contact. Because on a contact, you don't know if they're attached to multiple accounts, it won't know which account to put it on. And likewise, if you're on the account, it doesn't know which contact you want to put it on. If you want to put it on both, you have to go through the old way. If you just want to log quick ones, all you have to do is press the button. On a trip, I don't have a quick one because I've given you a different option for this, and that is mass add activities. Let's say you want to add 4 or 5 activities. You got this trip. You didn't want your activities automated because you wanted to be able to put them in when you wanted to put them in. You wanted to assign them the dates that you wanted to assign them, and then some you just don't want. But you want to add several activities now that this trip might be going. So we have this mass add activity button, and all that's going to do is open up a nice grid for you. And now you can add multiple activities to the trip. Use the chart like a spreadsheet. So like I can say this activity name is a check on proposal. And what kind of, this is probably just a task, right? The due date is, we'll just say that's today, right? Easy stuff. By the way, you'll see here notes, and it won't let me do anything. And that's because the notes field is logged, but it will always give you the data entry column next to it. So when you want a notes to show up, then you would say, you know, like email a reminder, right? And then I could do that like, I could fill down. I can check on the proposal now. Right? I can paste it down. But let's say I want to make sure I check on that proposal every other day for 3 days. Why would you? I don't know why. Because it works for my demonstration. That's why. And I want to email a reminder. I'm just showing you that you can, fill down on these grids, so you don't have to fill out information all the time. If I hit save right now, it's going to save it to the strip and be done. But I have the ability to add it to the account and contact that the strip is associated with. So now when hold on. Now when I save and close, it's going to save it right here. You're going to see it under activities. Here they are. We're going to check on the proposal. We've got those 3 days ready to go. Notice that it didn't mark it completed because you haven't done anything with them yet, right? But again, if I go back to the account now and refresh, those 3 are now added to Jim.
Yep.
And or for Jim, but they're on this account. Sorry. And then here we are on Jim's record, and when we refresh these activities, our new ones are going to be there as well. So just be aware that you can now have that ability to do that in our trips to mass add these activities. Otherwise, you'll need to do them one by one if you want to fill out the full information for all of them. So these are just strategies to help you move faster. Now, in Trip Manager, people have asked for the same thing, and I wanted to show that you've always sort of had this ability to mass add tasks now, if you wish, in Trip Manager. So here's a trip and its tasks. This is a demo trip, and you're like, man, I really would love to add 7 tasks to this. You know, you can do it one by one, right? Add them in. This is the full kit and caboodle right here. You got to add everything that you want in here. It's true. But I don't know if you knew this or not, but if you come to trip tasks and you go to the grid edit of the menu, you scroll to the very bottom, you'll see some blank spaces, and you'll notice that my name is sort of already imprinted into the assigned to, because that's how it works, is whenever you create a task, you're the person that's going to get assigned to it. The reason system admin, by the way, is assigned to it is because that person is the account manager for this. That's the operations person for this. So that's why it's not because we created it, but you can change it. So don't get me wrong, but you're going to automatically be in there. I wanted to show you that you can type something in here and fill it out across the board. But what you can't do is attach it to a product. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But let's say you wanted to confirm rooming list. Sorry. Confirm rooming list. No problems there. You're going to confirm your rooming list. That's a product. You don't have to worry about that. You could write some notes in there if you want. Really what you want here is a due date. When do you want to confirm that rooming list? This is when I want to do it, right? Now, you do need one other thing, and that means you need to attach it to the trip. But guess what? You can just fill that down. You don't need to worry about anything else like that. Did you want to put something in here? You can put standard. That's what I would put. But again, you can't actually change the trip product. Again, I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But one of the things a lot of people don't know that they can do on here is this. I have an Excel spreadsheet here. And I have 3 tasks that I use all the time. Well, not all the time, not on every trip, but occasionally. If you're unable to decide how you want your task to work created automatically, but you want to add tasks automatic, or like yourself, but you want to do them in bulk, here's what you're going to do. You're going to select the cells that you want out of your Excel spreadsheet, and you're going to copy it like you normally would. You're going to come here, you're going to select 3 cells, right click, and you're going to paste special. It's going to open this dialog box. You're going to do exactly what it says here, is you're going to paste those 3 things in the dialog box and hit OK. And if I had put them in the right spot, my very, very big fault here, then it will add them as each in a cell. And then you can fill down your due dates or change your due dates, do whatever you want to. But just make sure that you add it to a trip, right? And now when we save this, you're going to see our check roster, clean the house, get the mail, and confirm rooming list have all made it on here. Notice that I didn't put any sort of topic on there. If you remember, I changed one to standard, but I left the others alone. You can leave the others alone. They don't have to have one. I chose standard. If you wanted to choose something else to sort of group them, that's fine. And then you treat them like any other task. Interestingly enough, if you wanted to do it to a trip product, that's not a problem. You have to go to the trip product first, though. So in these Stars Park tickets, you come into here and you'll see a section down here that's called tasks, right? And if you grid edit these tasks, right, you can do the same thing. Fill down, you want your related trip, and then you'll be set to go. Just so you're aware that you've always had the ability to grid edit and mass add tasks as you want. So whenever you're ready to do that, go ahead and try it out.
Yeah.
If you've created a task that you don't want, just delete it. Sorry, sorry, that's not on the trip here. But if I went to the trip again, I went down to the task, and I said, you know what? I don't need to get the mail for this trip. Just click it and delete it. And be done. As a side note, I did want to mention to people that you might see a new, this is sort of off topic, a new button called Prepare Trip for the Portal. And you don't need to worry about that button just yet. It should disappear if you're not using our portal, and it will remain if you are. But you will need to sort of have some training if you're going to use that portal button in the future, just as a side note. But that is basically our new upgrades to our These are our new upgrades to our activities
Activity
and
tasks.
yeah,
That's great. That's great. And I think that one of the things people forget about a lot of times is that we do have that grid edit function in several places, and it can be a real time saver. As I know that during training, and I also know during some of the demos and stuff we show, once you send a trip to Trip Manager from sales, that whole list comes over, and you can go ahead and put in your tentative times and dates and stuff at that point,
that's right.
um, by grid editing the whole thing. So that way, when you go into each product, that little section is already filled out. So grid edit is your friend.
It is in a lot of places, and if you just experiment a little bit with those activities and where you can do that and what you can do with those things, I mean, I think that you're like take a moment to see
Right.
what it is you can do with those reports.
Absolutely. And I like that you mentioned that they're not going to have to worry about the portal button at this point. It sounds like we might have some more future Coach and Go information ahead of us when we have
Yes,
more
yes,
info on portal usage. So, yeah.
correct.
We're giving you a little bit of heads up here. So, but that was fantastic. And again, if you have questions on any of this stuff, make sure to contact us. Let us know. You can also contact our help desk, and you can email our help desk, help@gtonetwork.com, and make sure to put help in the subject line. That opens the whole tracking system, so that way we can keep track of where your help desk request is within our system. So please make sure to go ahead and do that. And again, reminder, if you've not done so, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also hit us up on LinkedIn and on Facebook as well. All of these episodes of Coach and Go, plus some other fun videos, are found on our YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe and like the videos as well, because that also pushes them a little bit further in the ability for you to see them. All the algorithms that YouTube has. So, we got to love that. Also, Coach and Go happens every other Tuesday. So every other Tuesday at 2 o'clock Eastern, we will come back on with some more information about new functionality within our system, new ways to use our system, and create more efficiencies for your day-to-day operations. So that's why we're here. We want to make sure that you're getting everything that you need. And again, as we always say, we want your feedback. So make sure to contact us and let us know if there are things that you need and things that you would like to see with this. By all means, contact myself, contact Corey, contact any of us, and give us your suggestions. We can definitely put together an episode of Coach and Go, and we might actually bring you on as a guest star as well, so you can come on here and ask your questions to us live. So if you're interested in that, again, make sure to contact us. So Corey, thank you so much for all of this information. And again, if you have questions on any of the upgrades to the activities and the task creation that we went over today, make sure to contact us and let us know. Anything else you would like to say today, Corey?
No, just to say though that a lot of these improvements have been through discussions with member companies. So
Right.
it's our users that are driving a lot of the development that we do. So again, get your, and it might have been something someone had put in a long time ago and then has come back up again. So don't be afraid to give us your suggestions. Don't be upset if you don't see it happen right away.
Yeah.
It might be something that we get for down the road, but we do listen to the people using the system to try to make the improvements for
Yeah.
them.
And if you have made those suggestions and you haven't heard from us, reach out, contact us. We will be more than happy to talk to you about it and where it is within the schedule of things for our development team. But we love having conversations with everybody. I think that's one of the things that kind of sets us apart a little bit, is that we want your feedback. We want to make this system as robust as it can be for you, to give you the efficiencies you need to continue to grow your business. So again, we will be in touch. You be in touch, all of that as well. So thank you so much, Corey, for all of this information today. And for those of you who have been watching, Thank you so much. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of GTO Coach and Go. We invite you to stay connected with Group Travel Odyssey on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and be sure to check out more of our media, including Destination Dispatch and the Destinations Beyond Expectations podcast. Please visit our website, grouptravelodyssey.com, where you can learn more about GTO and request a demo. Group Travel Odyssey, business without boundaries.